Hey, good morning, everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice, and we're playing a 1992 Red Sox Yankees game. This is April 9th, 1992. And for the Red Sox, it's going to be Boggs, Reed, and Greenwell in left field, batting third. Cleanup is Burks. Jack Clark batting fifth. Plantier batting sixth in right field. Batting seventh is Tom Bernanke. Batting eighth is Narin. And shortstop and catcher Pena is batting ninth. And we're right about to start. It's Jeff Johnson on the mound for the Yankees. He was 2-3 with 8 starts. I'm surprised his card is even included in this set. Must be extra players. His ERA was 6.66, so he's horrible. And his 5 column is a disaster with X's and singles and home runs. And so this is not going to be pretty. We'll see how many innings he can go. And we're right about to start. I don't know what I did with my. I brought my phone and I can't find it now. Let me see if it's behind. Oh yeah, it's behind the screen. So let's quickly. We're right about to start the game. Let me see. But you can't start the game without. You can't start the game without. Now we're going to be using advanced, some parts of advanced, not every single part of advanced. We're going to be doing that. I have my History Maker Baseball umpires here. I'm also doing the 2019 Mets season. Tune into that. And we're just right about to start here. Pitchers are warming up. Jeff Johnson, a lefty on the mound for the Yankees. All right, we're going to use 2 red die and 1 white die. We'll do that. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. 2 white die, 1 red die. And 20-sided die, which is going to be red. And that's it. We're ready to roll. Here's the first pitch to Wade Boggs. It's a 2-4. Let's see where we're looking here. So it's off Boggs' card. He's a lefty, so this is versus left-handed pitchers. A 2-4 is going to be a ground ball, second base. 1 out. Jody Reed next. And that's going to be a 3 is off Jody Reed's card versus a lefty. A 3-2 is going to be a base on balls. So it starts. That's going to be a 2-7. Again, it's to be a strikeout. So there's 2 outs in this inning. That was Mike Greenwell, and now it's Ellis Burks, the cleanup batter, with 2 outs and a run around first. Now let's see if we have our Jody Reed is a bunting A, hit and run B, running 1-14, stealing. He's a D, so he's not going to be running. Somebody was asking me how do I kind of manage teams? Is there anything automatic that I do for base stealing and so on for the team that basically I'm not replaying? And I'm like, no, I just kind of try to be fair. Try to see who the base stealer is. If it's somebody who's fast and who's a base stealer, I'll give them a chance to steal a base. So Ellis Burks cleaning up. See what happens here. That's going to be off the pitcher's card this time. Ellis Burks bats righty. So it's going to be against right-handed batters. It's a 5, a 5-7. And that's a 1-15 single. We rolled a 15, so it's going to be a single. Runner advances 1 base. So there's 2 outs. First and second. And it's Jack Clark, another right-handed hitter. And it's going to be column 3 versus lefties. And 3-3, that's going to be a base on balls. So the bases are loaded for the Red Sox here in the top of the first against Jeff Johnson. And Phil Plantier, lefty, is up. Let's see whose card this is off of. It's going to be off the pitcher's card versus a lefty. 5-9. That's going to be a deep fly ball to right field. And going back is Barfield, and he makes the catch. And that retires the side. So the Red Sox leave the bases loaded. And, oh, I don't want to do that. Plantier makes the last out, and the Red Sox leave the bases loaded. So the Yankees are bringing up Bernie Williams. Williams Mattingly batting second. Kelly batting third. So yeah, it's Williams, Mattingly, Kelly, Danny Tartable. Then it's Barfield, Velarde, Mike Stanley, the catcher, batting 7th. Batting 8th is Charlie Hayes, third baseman, and Pat Kelly batting 9th. The DH is Danny Tartable, who's in the cleanup spot. Mel Hall isn't playing this game. And let's see, here's the, and we're going to switch locations. And here it goes to roll. Frank Viola, ex-St. John star, 13-12 with a 3.44 ERA. So he's a pretty good pitcher at 92. This is the year I met my wife, 1992. We played APA at that time. 210. So this is going to be off the batter's card against a lefty. So against left-handed pitching, a 210 is going to be a single with a horseshoe. Horseshoe, I believe, means if there's 2 outs. So, and I don't have the ballpark charts, which is a drag for this year. I have to pull them up on the computer. Hopefully that doesn't come up. It's going to be a single for Williams, Bernie Williams. He's on at first, and Williams is a C-base dealer, so he's not going to be going. And it's going to be a 2 off the batter's card, a 2-9 off Don Mattingly, left-handed batter. Now, Mattingly didn't have the year he's normally accustomed to. Mattingly, although his batting average wasn't too bad, 287, he only had 14 home runs and almost 700 plate appearances. So it's 2-9. That's going to be a fly ball, right field, shallow right. In comes Plantier, makes the catch. 1 away. And Roberto Kelly, center fielder. That's going to be off the pitcher's card. Roberto Kelly bats righty. So it's going to be a 4 snake eyes, which is a hard hit ground ball right at the shortstop. Naring flips to Reed, back to first, 6-4-3 double play. That's the end of 1 inning. No score. Leading it off for the Red Sox here at the top of the second is Tom Bernanke. What I like about the basic, it has stats. Bernanke batted .266 with 15 home runs. That's going to be against the lefty for Bernanke, a 210. That's going to be popped up to the left side. And right there is Hayes. 1 down. Tim Naring, shortstop. Utility guy, plays outfield, infield. That's going to be off Naring's card versus a lefty, a 3-9 strikeout. So Johnson strikes out Naring for the second out of the inning. And it's Tony Pena. And that's going to be off Johnson's card. Pena is a right-handed batter, so it's going to be versus righties. A 6-11, and that's going to be a ground ball pitcher X. We rolled a 6 there. Pitcher X. Ball pitcher X. And the pitcher is a 2. I'm just using the basic fielding chart. I'm not going to go into that. Pitcher's a 2. We rolled a 6. It's going to be an out. Not going much deeper into the fielding. So it's a 1-3 put out. And that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. So now so far Johnson, who has a 6 ERA, has gotten through the first 2 innings, which is not too bad. We'll see what happens next inning when the top of the order comes back up. Frank Viola, ex-St. John star, played for the Mets for a while. Going to face Danny Tartable. All right, we don't want that to happen. Having some issues today with this. All right, 3. It's off Tartable's card versus a lefty. A 3 is going to be an automatic walk. Holy smokes, never seen this before. His whole 3 column versus lefties is a walk. So Tartable walks. He's on at first. He's an E-base stealer, so he's not going to move too much. Jesse Barfield. It's going to be 3 versus lefty. Snake Eyes, which is lined and caught, and the throw to first doubles Tartable off first. So 6-6 DP. And it's Randy Velarde with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. It's going to be versus lefty. It's going to be 2-7. Did I look at the right place there? Wait a second. Yeah, I did look at the right place. So it's going to be 2-7. Ground ball, shortstop Naring up with it, fires to first. And that retires the side. We go to the top of the third. Jeff Johnson takes the mound for the Yankees. Jeff Johnson started 8 games for the Yankees in 1992. Wade Boggs, the batter. And it's off of Johnson's card versus lefties. A 5-4 is going to be a ballpark single. I like the ballpark. Let me see if I can pull up a ballpark chart real quick here for 1992. I'm going to search on the computer for ballpark chart Start-O-Matic. And it usually comes up. I usually get linked to something somewhere that has that information. I'll just read it off of the computer screen. I have a second computer on my left. It's an old 10-inch Windows 7 computer that I picked up from a doctor who was getting himself a new one. He said, "Hey, do you want this one?" I said, "Okay, no problem." So it doesn't always jump start right away. It takes a little time to. So this is going to be ballpark effect for 1992. Let me see if I don't have it sitting around here either. Should have thought of that before I started. I like the ballpark effects. It's kind of fun. Now, I'm not a big fan of having a lot of extra little categories on the card next to the numbers. It just slows the whole game process down. Like what's happening here. The screen. Oh, you know what? I can do this on my phone as well. Let me see. Let's pull it up on the phone. Start-O-Matic ballpark effects. Ballpark effects on weather charts. Start-O-Matic. It should come up. Okay. It gives me all the different years. So I will go to 1992. American National Ballpark Effect Chart. I don't do weather. I will do. Okay, here it is. So New York AL is a single 1 to 10 for lefties. So who's batting? Wade Boggs is batting. And we had a 4, a 5. 4 is a ballpark effect chart, singles. And we rolled a 17, so that's going to be lined and caught by the second baseman. So it's L4. So I just opened it up on my phone. I have it here on my phone, so that'll be easy to access. Jody Reed here in the top of the third with 1 out. And that's a 2-3 against the left-handed pitcher. A 2-3 is popped up, and this is going to be to the right side. Right there is Randy. No, Velarde is short. It's going to be Pat Kelly makes the catch, 2 away. Mike Greenwell. And it's going to be off the pitcher's card. What did I just do? Okay. Off the pitcher's card, Mike Greenwell's a lefty. So we're looking at a 4. A 4-6 is a split die double single. Rolled a 14. That's going to be lined base hit to right. So a 2-out single for Greenwell. And it's Ellis Burks. It's the second hit off Johnson today. That's going to be a 6 off the pitcher's card. Burks is a righty. So a 6-8. It's going to be a single, base hit, and that's going to allow Greenwell to move to third. So with 2 outs, the Red Sox are threatening here in the top of the third. Jack Clark. Now, what kind of season Jack Clark have? I know he's more towards the end of his career. He batted .210 with 5 home runs. So he's not much of a threat, but we don't want this to be off the pitcher's card. It's a 6, so it is off the pitcher's card. Jack Clark is a righty, and it's an 8, and it's going to be a single, base hit, run scores, 1-0 Red Sox. Jack Clark comes through with a clutch 2-out single, drives home Mike Greenwell from third base, and that's going to allow Ellis Burks to make it to third. So with 2 outs here, it's a 2-out rally for the Red Sox. They've scored 1. They have first and third. And it's going to be Phil Plantier now coming to bat. Plantier's a lefty. And that's going to be off Plantier's card, a 3. This is probably an advantage for Johnson because Johnson has a horrible card. 3-5, and that's going to be a strikeout. So luckily, no more damage is done for the Yankees and for Johnson. But the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the third on the 2-out RBI single by Jack Clark. I remember him as a San Francisco Giant. Frank Viola is going to be facing Mike Stanley. And it's off of Stanley's card versus it's off of the pitcher's card. Stanley's a righty, so it's a 5-8. And that's going to be a ground ball third base. Boggs fires to first and gets Stanley. Charlie Hayes up next, 8th place batter. And that's going to be a 1. That's off of Charlie Hayes' card. Let's flip this. That's much better now. All right, it's a 1 against a lefty, and it's an 8, and that's going to be lined and caught by the second baseman for out number 2. Right there is Jody Reed and Pat Kelly now. And that's going to be 5 off of Viola. 5-6. That's going to be a split die double single. It's driven into the gap, 1 hop off the wall. Around first is Kelly into second base with a 2-out double. So the tying run is at second base for Bernie Williams, a switch hitter. He's batting righty against the lefty Viola. And that's going to be a 2 against a left-handed pitcher, a 2-9, and that's going to be a strikeout. Williams goes down swinging, and that retires the side. The Yankees leave a man in scoring position, and at the end of 3, it's 1-0 Red Sox. So for Johnson here, He's going to be facing Bernanke. Bernanke, Naring, and Pena. So that's going to be off of Johnson's card. Bernanke's a righty, a 6-8, and that's going to be a line drive base hit for Bernanke. Bernanke's on at first, not a base stealer, so he won't be going. And it's Naring. And that's a 5. Naring is a righty, a 5-9. And that's a fly ball, shallow left field. Right there is Williams. Makes the catch for out number 1. Tony Pena. Hey, guys. Good morning. Clinton, how are you, brother? I know, Clinton. I'm not going to argue with you, man. Nothing wrong with strats. STM is right. I agree. I like strats. Strats fun. Other games are fun, too. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I find something good in all of them, man. I'm rolling dice. I'm playing games. I'm relaxing. 5. 5-8. So it's going to be off Johnson's card. There's 1 out, runner on first. We're in the top of the 4th. It's 1-0 Red Sox. Tony Pena, the batter. And it's going to be, Pena's a right-handed batter, so we're looking at the right-handed side. It's 5-8, and that's a ground ball, second base X. Second baseman for the Yankees don't have a very good fielding club, is Kelly, who's a 3. I'm just using the basic fielding for this. That's the nice thing about Strat. You can do that. You can use basic fielding. So let's roll a die here. Let's roll a blue die. It's going to be a 1 column. Second base. No, that's I don't know why I'm doing that. It's a 3 column second base, and 20-sided die says a 7. So it's going to be an out, a 3 out, which is it's a double play ball. So it's a 4-6-3 double play. So ball hits a Kelly, and he flips to Velarde, back to first. Mattingly scoops it out of the dirt, and that retires the side. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. So Pena hits into that double play, and Frank Viola's on the mound for the Red Sox. He's going to be facing Don Mattingly. All right, so Mattingly steps into the box. Viola looks in for the sign. Here's the pitch. It's going to be off of Viola's card versus a lefty. And it's going to be a 6-10, which is a ground ball third base X. Now, Boggs is a 3, and we rolled a 16. 3-16, and that's going to be a 1 base error on Boggs. He boots it. And looks like he took his eye off the ball for a second. That's going to allow Mattingly to reach base on an error. I'm going to put that up on top here for the Red Sox. 1 error so far. Don Mattingly is on at first, and he's not a threat to steal, so he won't be going. Roberto Kelly, the batter. And it's going to be a 4. That's going to be off Viola's card against a righty. A 4-7. That's ball 4. So Yankees have the first 2 batters on base here. They're down 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Kelly's on with a walk at first, and Mattingly reached on an error on Boggs. He's at second. And now it's Danny Tartable. He's a right-handed batter. And that's going to be off of Viola's card, a 4-10. And that's going to be a center field X. Center field X. Center fielder is Burks. He's a 4. Another horrible fielder. These 2 teams have terrible fielders. We rolled a 7. And that 7 is going to turn into an out, which is a 1, which I can't even see what that says. Advance 1 base. So everybody's going to advance 1 base on that out. Deep fly ball to center field. They both tag up. So there's 1 out. Runners on second and third. Move up on that long fly ball by Danny Tartable, and it's Jesse Barfield. Jesse Barfield is way past his prime at this point. This is towards the end of his career, I believe. with the Yankees. What does he do in 92? 137 average with 2 home runs and 95 at bats. This must be an extra card. And it's Barfield. So Barfield's off. Barfield's card versus a lefty. That's a 1. A 1-4. It's going to be a fly ball, left field B. And what does that mean? I don't know. I don't have a lot of these memorized. Runner on third score. So that's going to be a ball deep enough to right to Plantier to score the tying run. Mattingly scores. RBI for Barfield. And there's 2 outs now. Score is tied at 1. And Randy Velarde with Kelly on at second base. And it's a 5-8. That's off Viola. Velarde's a righty, so it's a 5-8. And that's going to be a ground ball to Boggs. Up with it, fires to first, and that retires the side. So after the first 2 batters reach, the next 3 are retired in order. Score is 1-1 going into the 5th inning. Now I was lying in bed, and I said, well, I can lie in bed for the next hour. I can get up and roll a game. What would I rather do? So here I am. I wasn't going to fall back to sleep. I went to sleep pretty early. The Met game was a nightmare. They lost 9-4. Not happy. So I try to keep my eyes shut as much as possible. Top of the 5th, Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and lined out. And that's going to be a 1-3. That's a ground ball second base. Pat Kelly flips to Mattingly. 1 away. 1 away, top of the 5th. Ball game tied at 1. Jody Reed, right-handed batter. 5. This is off Johnson against a righty. 5-7. And that's going to be a split die single. And that's ground ball up the middle and through into center field for a single. Jody Reed on at first. He's a deep base stealer, so he won't be going. Not a big hit and run guy either. My dice just went flying. I may switch to larger size dice because these are so small they're flying off. So one more time they fly off, and I'm switching to a bigger, heavier. So it's going to be 1. It's going to be off of Greenwell. It's a 1-5, and that's going to Greenwell. It looks like he had a pretty decent season, or at least his column 1 says so. No, he had a terrible average, but we just landed in column 1 versus a lefty, which he did pretty good. It's going to be a single here, and that's going to stop Reed. Reed is a Reed is a 1-14 running. So we're going to try to make it to third base with Reed. We rolled a 17, so he's out. Reed is out, and that was an 8-5. Roberto Kelly, 8-5, throws out Reed for the second out. And so that's the Greenwell's on at first base. And with 2 outs, Burks. So a big outfield assist by Roberto Kelly throws out Jody Reed trying to scamper to third base on that single to center. And it's going to be Ellis Burks now with 2 outs, runner on first. Here's the pitch. Okay, it's off Burks' card versus a lefty, a 2-9, and that's going to be popped up. Velarde is going to be calling for it. Makes the catch. That retires the side after 4.5. It is 1-1. Red Sox Yankees, 1992. Mike Stanley's leading it off for the Yanks. It's going to be Stanley, the 7th-place batter. He's the catcher. Hayes and Kelly. Now, there's a couple of players here that actually last into the dynasty years. Velarde, I think, played for the Yankees into 96, 97. I know Stanley does, 96, 97. Hayes comes back, and I think he's on the team in 98. So this is the beginning, a couple of seeds here. Williams plays all through the dynasty years. He's part of all the big victories and the big Yankee seasons in the late 90s. So there's the seeds are planted here for what will become down the road. So it's going to be Frank Viola, the lefty. Very good season in '92. Is going to be facing Mike Stanley. So it's going to be 5 against a righty. That's going to be a 5-4. That's going to be a base on balls. So Stanley walks. He's on at first. Charlie Hayes is next. And that's going to be a 6. Hayes is a righty. A 6-7. That's going to be a ground ball, second base, X. Second baseman is Reed, who's a 2. And Reed rolled a 17. A 2-17. And that's an out 3. So that's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. So that's 2 away. And Pat Kelly. We're in the bottom of the 5th. It's all tied at 1. 4-10. Pat Kelly's a righty. 4-10. That's going to be a fly out center field. Center fielder, we said, was a 4. Burks is a 4 in center field. And we got a 4. We rolled a 4. So that's going to be an out. So Burks runs it down in center for out number 3. So we go to the top of the 6th now. Top of the 6th. Johnson is still in the game, but we're gonna look towards replacing him because he's horrible. He had a 6 ERA in 8 starts, pitching pretty well for us here. Let me look and see who else pitched in this game, so I can kind of bring up 1992 Yankee schedule. And 1992 Yankees schedule, game 2. It's Boston loses this game 3-2. Who pitches for the Yanks? It's Johnson, Monteleone, and Steve Howe. And I don't know that I have those players, but we'll check to see. So in this game, Johnson pitches well. He pitches. He goes 4.2 innings. So right now, he's done 5 for us. And let me see who I have in the Yankee set. My pitchers. Let me separate my pitchers from my batters. Havian, Novatello, Mickey, Farr, Perez. There he is. Monteleone, Whitman, Moss, Stankiewicz. These are position players. Young and J. So I don't have Howe. Howe actually, I believe, retired in '92. He had some issues with drugs, with illegal drugs. So we're not going to have him today. So I'm going to see if I can get one more inning out of Johnson, and then I can always bring in a couple other guys, a couple different guys. Wickman is around and so forth. All right. So where are we here? We're at the top of the 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're in the top of the 6th. It's going to be Jack Clark leading it off against Johnson, but there is action in the bullpen. So it's going to be 2-4, and that's going to be a walk. So Clark walks. Clantier, lefty. He's going to face Johnson. And that's a 6, 7, and that's going to be trouble. That's going to be a double. And Clark, what's his speed? Clark is a 9, so he's going to hold up at third. So that's a ball that Johnson drives deep into the gap, and that's going to fall in there for a double. That's a 6-7. We're double checking that. Oh, actually, yeah, it's got 2 stars. So that's going to automatically stop Clark at second. So that's going to be it for. It's going to be Tom Bernanke stepping in the box. He's a righty. That's going to be it for Johnson. So Johnson goes, what do we say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 innings. And he gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hits. We don't know how many runs yet. He walks 1, 2, 3. Strikes out 1, 2, 3. Give up no home runs. And we're going to get, who did we say was coming in? He actually, Monteleone, Rich Monteleone, he had 62 innings pitched for the Yankees. So he's going to be their new pitcher. He's a right-hander, I believe he is. So out goes Johnson. In comes Monteleone. Let's write him in. And he's going to be blue. Easy way to kind of denote the. Yeah, STM talks about the Strat app. I've had the Strat app, and I know I can pull up players, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to be having my phone, be pulling up players. I just don't want to do that extra effort. I don't think it's necessary. Plus, I don't want to pay $5 extra for that app. Because when I don't, what happens if I stop playing Start-O-Matic for a month and I have to pay for the app anyway? And that app, I had the app for over a year and I used it when I played, but I had to keep on looking stuff up. Then I had to switch to a new player. It was a big drag. I don't know. I just want all the cards, man. I just want all the cards. Give me all the cards and I won't complain. Right? It's that simple. I don't care what you charge, just offer them, and we'll see. We can go from there. If it's too much, then people won't buy them. You'll have to lower the price. You got to make a profit. I get it. You don't have to make a huge profit. You can make a smaller profit. As long as it's profitable, you're moving forward in terms of your business. That's how I feel about it. So I don't want to do that. So second and third, Tom Bernanke is going to be facing Rich Monteleone. Yankees are going to have to bring the infield in here because it's 1-1. We don't want to. It's late enough already in the game. We want to avoid allowing that run to score. Now I could walk the bases loaded and bring in the corners and allow the go ahead run to score, but I'm just going to play it straight and bring the infield in here. So it's going to be a 1. That's going to be off Bernanke's card. Monteleone is a righty, so it's a 1-9, and that's going to be a split die. This is not the roll the Yankees wanted. A 1-9 is going to be a split die with a 2. It's a triple-double split die. So it's going to be a 2-run triple. The Red Sox are now up 3-1. And 2 RBI triple by Tom Bernanke. That's going to close out Johnson, who allows 3 runs, 3 earned runs in 5 innings. And now the infield is in again with Tim Naring at the plate, Rich Monteleone. And it's going to be 2-3, and that's going to be a ballpark single. It's a 20, so that's going to be lined. Wait a second. Ballpark single is going to be caught by the second baseman, L4. Well, let me double check with the infield in. Is that line drive a hit or what? Infield in. It doesn't say that. I know on some rules, line drives are hits. Bases loaded, runner on third is out. Batters at the following action. So I guess it's a line out with the infield in. Doesn't say anything about that. All right, Tony Pena. Again, infield's in, runner on third. And it's going to be a 6 off of Monteleone's card. Pena's a righty. So it's going to be a 6-3 ballpark single. We rolled a 6. That's for a righty. Let's double check that. think it was 1 to 10. Hits are 1 to 10 for righties and lefties. New York Yankees. Oh no, it's 1 to 4 for a righty. So the Yankee Stadium is not friendly to righty batters. So 1 to 4. So that's going to be a line out to the shortstop. L6. So 2 infield in lineouts right at the fielder, I guess. There's 2 outs now, and it's Wade Boggs with a runner on third. Infield is now at regular depth. It's 3-1 Red Sox here in the top of the 6th. Monteleone's on the mound. That's going to be a 1 versus a White. A 1-3 is a pop fly to shallow right. Back goes Bernanke. Back goes Mattingly. In comes Barfield. Barfield calls him off, makes the catch, and that retires the side, but not before. The damage has been done. Red Sox pick up 2 runs on the 2-run triple by Tom Bernanke, and they lead it by a score of 3-1. Go to the bottom of the 6th. Viola versus Bernie Williams. Williams is 1 for 2. He singled in the first. And it's going to be a 5. Bernie's batting righty, so it's going to be a 5-8. And that's going to be a ground ball to Hayes, to Boggs. Boggs throws out Bernie Williams for out number 1 in the bottom of the 6th. 3-1 Red Sox. And it's going to be a 1 on Mattingly's card versus lefty, 1-6. That's going to be a ball that's driven into the gap. It's going to roll to the wall. After it is Burks. And Mattingly going for 2. The throw not in time, off the line. It's a 1-out double by Donnie Baseball. So Mattingly on with a double. He's 1 for 3 on the day. He scored a run earlier on when he reached on an error, scored on a sacrifice fly by Jesse Barfield. So Mattingly scored the only run. He's on at second now with 1 out, and it's Roberto Kelly. And that's going to be a 5. So that's going to be off Viola's card. A 5-4. It's going to be base on balls. Second time Kelly's walked, and that's the 3rd walk given up allowed by Viola. So it's 1st and 2nd. And Danny Tartable. Here's the pitch to Danny. Danny, good power. It's going to be off Viola. A 4-6. And that's going to be a sacrifice fly. Center field B. Center field B. Run on third scores, others hold. So that's 2 out now. Right there is Burks. And Barfield with 2 outs, 1st and 2nd. So the tying run is on at 1st. So an extra base hit here may score the tying run. Let's see what happens. And it's going to be a 3. So that's a good result for the Yankees versus a lefty. It's going to be a 3-6, and that's going to be a fly ball. And right at Burks in center, and that's going to retire the side. So that's 6 complete. It's 3-1 Red Sox. Yanks leave 2, score none. And at the end of 6, 3-3. Jody Reed is coming up for the Red Sox. Top of the 7th. Monteleone, the batter. It's going to be 4. Reed is a righty, so it's going to be 4-5, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Reed down swinging. 1 out. Top of the 7th, 3-1 Red Sox. We're at Yankee Stadium, 1992, April 9th. It is chilly outside. Monteleone, a 4 versus a lefty, a 4-8, and that's going to be a fly ball to right. And that's Barfield right there. And it's Ellis Burks. Ellis Burks is 2 for 3. And it's again off Monteleone's card, a 4-9. And that's going to be split die, singled out. And that's line and caught by the third baseman. Charlie Hayes, L5, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. In the top of the 7th, we go to the bottom of the 7th. Frank Viola facing Velarde, Stanley, and Hayes. Here's the pitch. It's 3-1, Red Sox. And it's going to be a 2 off Velarde's card, a 2-4, and that's going to be a strikeout. Velarde down looking. And Mike Stanley, it's going to be a 5. Stanley's a righty, so it's 5-5. And that's an end home run on a 1. We rolled a 20, so that's a deep fly ball to left field. Back goes Greenwell to the wall, makes the catch. F7. So that's 2 outs. And Charlie Hayes. And it's off Hayes' card versus a lefty, a 1-6, and that's going to be a strikeout. So 3 up, 3 down. We go to the top of the 8th. It's a 3-1 ball game. Can the Yankees come back? I don't know. But let's take a look at what we're doing here with Monteleone. He's pitched 2 innings so far. Don't know if we want to let him go anymore. We may let him go another inning. Monteleone pitched 62 innings. You know what? Oh, 92 innings, excuse me. Back then, relief pitchers went a lot longer. But you know what? We're going to pull him in favor of somebody else who's on the roster. Let's see. Top of the 8th, we got Clark coming up. Jack Clark is a righty. Then we have a lefty. Then we have a righty again. So who do we have as a righty who pitched? Habian is a throws righty. Okay, John Habian is going to come in. He's going to be green. So John Habian is going to be green. He's going to come in, replacing Monteleone. And he went 2 innings. Gave up a triple. No runs, no earned runs, no walks, a K, no home runs. So it's going to be John Habian. Habian, I think, was a coach for a high school team out in Long Island. He does some videos with the brothers, the Ripken brothers, to teach mechanics, baseball, pitching mechanics, and so on and so forth. All right, so Clark is up. John Habian, the pitcher. Habian was 5-6 with a 3.84 ERA. So it's going to be a 1. Habian is a righty now, so it's a right-handed pitcher. A 1-5, and that's going to be a base on balls. So Clark starts off with a walk. And Phil Plantier, lefty. That's going to be 2 off a righty, 2-10, and that's going to be a horseshoe single. That only comes into effect, I believe, if there's 2 outs. It becomes if there's a runner scoring position with 2 outs, I believe that becomes an out. So it's going to be a single, and Clark is going to stop at second. So first 2 batters reach here in the top of the 8th against Habian, and it's Tom Bernanke. We need a double play here. That's going to be a 4. Bernanke's a righty, so it's going to be a 4-7. That's a strikeout with a dot. Oh, man, I don't remember what the dot. Oh, the dot means that it's a hit if he's past his point of weakness, something to that effect. All right, so it's a strikeout. And Habian just came in, so that does not apply to Habian. All right, so it's a 3 now. That's going to be off of Naring's card against a righty. It's going to be a 3-11. And that's going to be a ground ball to third base. Hayes up with it, throws to Kelly. No throw to first, so it's going to be a fielder's choice. First and third now. 2 outs. And Tony Pena. So the Red Sox are threatening with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning against John Habian. Here's the pitch. It's going to be off of Pena's card, a 2. A 2-6 is going to be a ground ball, second base. Right there is Kelly. Flips to Mattingly, and that retires the side. So the Red Sox threaten, but they leave 2, score none. And at the end of 7.5, it's 3-1 Red Sox. Leading it off is going to be Pat Kelly. We're not doing any pinch hitting. Let me double check. Yeah, we're not going to do any pinch hitting right now. Maybe down by 1 run, but not down by 2. 5. So that's going to be against a righty. 5-4. It's going to be a walk. So Kelly walks. Viola has a bunch of walks on his card. And he walked almost 100 batters, holy smokes, in 238 innings. So he does have issues with control. Bernie Williams now, tying run at the plate. See what happens. See if the Yankees can manage to tie this one up. It's going to be a 3-5, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop. Hit sharply right at the shortstop. Naring, he flips to Reed. Back to first base, Bernanke, and that's a 6-4-3 double play. So Williams hustling down that line, but hits into a double play. And it's Don Mattingly with 2 outs now. Nobody on. And it's going to be 1-7. And it's going to be a split die double single. And it's line base hit. Cut off by the right fielder, Plantier. Gets it in quickly to hold Mattingly to a single. So it's a 2-out single for Donnie Baseball. And it's Roberto Kelly. Kelly has some power. Have to rule that. So it's a 5. This is going to be off. He's a righty. So it's off of Viola's card. A 5-10 is a ballpark single. We rolled an 11. Roberto's a righty, so that's going to be lined and caught by the shortstop, L6, and that retires the side. We go to the top of the 9th inning, 3-1 Red Sox. Yanks had an awful team in '92. And I don't think the Red Sox were much better. The terrible fielding for both teams. Wade Boggs is leading it off. He's 0 for 4 today. Wade Boggs had a terrible season. He batted .259. This is a guy that's been known to bat .350. And he's batted .259 in 1992. So 1992 seems like a little bit of a down year for hitting. Wade Boggs. That's a 4 against a lefty. A 4-8, and that's going to be line base hit off Habian's card. So Wade Boggs singles. And he's on at first with nobody out. Jody Reed. We're not sacrificing. So it's going to be a 1, column 1-6. That's going to be a split die 1-4 home run. That's a deep drive to left field. And back goes Williams and makes the catch at the warning track. F7. Mike Greenwell. And that's a 1 against a righty. A 1-7 is going to be a split die single. And this is going to be line and caught by Pat Kelly at second. 2 outs. Ellis Burks. Burks is 2 for 4. That's going to be 4. Ellis Burks is a righty, so it's on this side. 4-5. And that's going to be a strikeout unless his POW, point of weakness. And in relief, it's 2. Well, he's not there anyway. So I'm not going to worry about it. Strikeout. And that retires the side here in the top of the 9th. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. It's 3-1 Yankees. This is the last licks for the Yanks. The Bombers. And it's going to be Tartable, Barfield, and Velarde. Here's the pitch from Viola. He's going to try to go the distance. It's going to be a 6. Danny Tarbell's a righty, a 6-12. That's going to be a pitcher X. Pitchers are mostly 2s. So 2, and we rolled a 19. A 2 on a 19 for the pitcher is going to be roll a 20-sided die again. 20-sided die again. And that's going to be a 7 this time. It's going to be a comebacker to Viola, who fields his position and throws out Tartable easily. 1 away. Bottom of the 9th, 3-1 Red Sox. Yankees are down to their last 2 outs. Jesse Barfield lost that die, went all the way to the other side of the planet. And that's going to be a 2, so that's off Barfield's card. A 2-8, and that's going to be a strikeout. Barfield had a horrible 1992, had 100 at-bats, batted 137, excuse me. But I wouldn't know that if I was starting the season. Randy Velarde, I'm hoping for the best with him. Randy Velarde, and that's going to be a 4 off Viola's card. He's a righty. A 4 Snake Eyes is a ground ball shortstop A, and that's ball hit to Naring. He's up with it, fires to first, retires Velarde. Ball game is over. We see a complete game victory. 1, 2, 3, 4 hitter. 9 innings, 4 hits for Viola. Allows 1 run, but no earned runs. He walked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 batters. Struck out 3, 4. Allowed no home runs. So he's going to be the MVP of the game. I always have to try to make an MVP of the game. Habian, basically went 2 innings, allowed 2 hits and a walk. 2 hits and a walk. Struck out 2. No home runs, no earned runs. And the final score is going to be Red Sox 3. And they had 11 hits and 1 error. And the Yankees won. And they had 4 hits and no errors. And that's the ball game. That's Start-O-Matic advanced using the ballpark effects, which I like. And that's a good thing about Start-O-Matic. It flows very well. You can use parts of what you want and leave out part. I didn't use the advanced fielding. Sometimes I write down the E12 and then I go through those steps, but I didn't do that because it slows down the game just a little bit. And it was early in the morning and it's already 6:20. I got to get started to organize myself to go to work. Took about an hour to play this game, I believe. Yeah, 58 minutes. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for your comments. I appreciate that. It kind of sparks discussion amongst us, and that's always a positive thing, I guess. Getting people's, perceptions of how things are in our hobby. So this is Combat Painter, and before I go, I have to. This is Combat Painter. And Yankees played a couple of games, some, one-off games here, one-off series, 1992. Just wanted to play some Strat. I like Strat. 1992, Yankees, Red Sox. It's one of the seasons that I have. I have a bunch of seasons. And I'm playing the first series, maybe another series. I'm not going to replay because of the lack of cards. I like to use actual lineups, and I can't do it with Strat, so I can't replay whole seasons with Strat. That has to be done with maybe with sets that you can either make the card very easily or you can print the card very easily. Then I wouldn't mind doing it, but there's no access to the cards here other than the card viewer app for $5 a month, and that's kind of a drag for me. Like I said, I have to keep switching. I don't know how to print them very well, and it's a drag. I just rather buy the cards if I could. But anyway, 3-1 final score. Red Sox. Frank Viola MVP pitches a complete game, 4 hitter. Allowed 1 unearned run, and that's it. Take care, guys.